Joe Pantozzi here, and this is part two of our conversation about beneficiary topics. In part one, I alluded to the fact that a will or a trust will absolutely not cancel out beneficiary designations. So a person will name a beneficiary in a policy, then they'll get a will and or trust completed, and they'll assume that the beneficiary has been amended or adjusted or revised back to beneficiaries that he would like to name in the trust or will. These two will not relate to one another. So you do have to do some work to coordinate your assets because, as I mentioned in the previous session, different assets will pass by different methodologies, by title, by contract, etc. I've seen some other kind of odd instances where a person might say, well, I've got two life insurance policies. They're both the same size. So I'm going to name Johnny as beneficiary of one policy, and I'm going to name Mary as the beneficiary of another policy. So there we have some problems with that as well. One of those policies could lapse, and you may unintentionally disinherit one of your kids, or other things may happen with the policies that may ruin your original intentions. So once again, you've got to go back and have a comprehensive approach that addresses all of your assets. I've had a situation where a person named an ex-spouse as beneficiary and left that named beneficiary intact on the policy, even though they were divorced. Now, in certain states, state law will automatically remove that beneficiary if that beneficiary has not been ratified after the date of the divorce. So now we're getting into a little bit of a complex issue. All the more reason why you should have an attorney, an estate planning attorney involved. We've had clients assume that an ex-business partner, an ex-associate, would no longer be eligible to receive life insurance benefits because that person is no longer in the business. Again, that's not true. The life insurance policy names a beneficiary. That beneficiary has to be removed in a formal process engaging the insurance company in order to get the results that you want to have. So there are certain issues and exceptions relating to income taxes, estate taxes that will affect your life insurance. So you want to make sure that all these things are coordinated properly. We say that life insurance benefits are typically, generally speaking, paid out without income tax. That's a general rule, but there are exceptions. So, for example, if you sold your policy to somebody, that beneficiary who received the death benefit may have a taxable event. So I've brought up these points. These are absolutely not all inclusive, but it gives us a good reason why you should have an in-depth conversation with your financial planner, your estate attorney, with your whole legal and financial team. A last item that I'll mention is that many clients will tell me they don't want their beneficiary to know that person has been named as a beneficiary under a policy. And when I ask why, they tell me, well, that person's not necessarily mature enough to receive the benefits. Well, if they're not mature enough to receive the benefits, then you shouldn't name them on the policy until you bring them up to speed, give them the education, and make sure that they have the wisdom to manage that money over a long period of time and to do with it what you want them to do. There's only so much control you can have from the grave. So you want to get these things lined out and documented, signed off, and drafted properly. So I hope that helps. Call us with questions and contact our office if you need to go back and recover part one of this conversation. Talk to you soon.